In today's video, I want to talk about something that came up over the past week where I was asked to restore some data, and I wound up using Oracle Flashback Query to restore that data. So this is an Oracle specific feature, and I wanted to take you guys through it because it might be useful for you. So really quick, Oracle Flashback Query allows you to query data in the past. So normally when you query a database, you're going to see the data as it exists in its present form. But Flashback Query can actually go back to 1, 2, 3, 4 hours in the past and show you data as it existed. If it was updated anywhere in that point in time, it may be different. So there's a special construct that you would add in your SQL. And here it is. It's just you would just say as of timestamp and then give it a timestamp value to tell Oracle what time to use in its as of query. So that's going to be the point in time that the data corresponds with. Now, there are limits to what you can do with Flashback Query, and that's going to be based on how much undo space you have configured for Oracle instance. So, and the amount of space you need really is going to depend on how active your database is and how much space you have available. So if you've got tons of updates going on in your database, you're going to need a lot more undo space if you want to go back any significant point in time in the past. This is very useful in fixing mistakes, and we're going to show you that in a minute, an example of something that came up in the last week for me. But again, you have to catch it within the amount of space that you have and time configured for your undo in Oracle. Otherwise, you're going to go past the point in time that you've got stored, and you're going to get a message from Oracle basically saying, "Hey, I can't go back. Snapshot too old," and you're not going to be able to go past that point in time. And it's also very useful in just doing data triage. So you might not have to fix something, but you might want to look at something to see how something's changed over the last few hours. So let's go over the syntax. So all you're going to do is when you're going to select from a table, you're going to have your column list as you normally would. So you're going to say select from, and then give it a table name, whatever table you're trying to do your as of query on. And then you're going to use this as of timestamp designation. Then you have to pass it a timestamp value. And so that's what I'm doing here. I'm just selecting 6/24/2023 at 9 a.m. And I'm just giving the date format for that. So Oracle knows how to translate that into that timestamp. And what's going to happen is when it queries, it's going to pull back this table as it existed at this point in time, if you happen to have that data still available in your undo segments. So if you have your undo segments declared large enough so that you can reach back an hour, you'd be able to do that. So that's the syntax for Flashback Query. Okay, so here's the scenario. So last Saturday over Slack, it was about, I don't know, just about 10 o'clock in the morning. Got a message from someone saying, "Hey, Bill, do you think you can undo something for me? I was trying to replace a new line character in the addresses table, and I replaced it with a empty space with a empty string instead of a space. So I basically asked, "Hey, when was this done?" And the answer was, "Oh, about 10 minutes ago." And I asked what was updated. And so I needed to know how far back in time to go. And also I needed to know exactly what was updated just so I can make sure I hit what was supposed to be done. So here's the update. So what I wound up doing is updated the client address. This is a table in the database. And I updated two columns, the address 1, the address 2. There's like street 1 and street 2. And I added this as of timestamp construct. So I'm querying that table, but I'm querying it in the past. I'm querying it on the same day about an hour earlier. And then all I did was join on the primary key so that I can correlate address 1 and address 2, the version that exists now against what existed about an hour before the update was being run. And then I just got the where exists so I can make sure that I'm updating only the rows that have changed. So I'm actually looking for a difference here because I didn't want to just update every row in the table. The original update did not update every row in the table, and you don't want to stress your transaction logs if you don't need to. So if I wouldn't have had this check in here to check to see whether or not these changed, it would have updated every row in the table to that point in time in the past, and which would have been potentially hundreds of thousands of rows, as opposed to, in this case, I think it updated about 900 records. So that's our update. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. I hope that was useful for you guys. I think it could be a very valuable tool in your tool chest if you're using Oracle. Look into using as just play around with it. Start querying tables and use that as of syntax to get familiar with it. See how much space you've got configured in your instance for undo, and see how far you can go back. Other than that, I'll talk to you guys later. If you guys have any questions or comments, please drop them below. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye.